Hello. So I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind lately. Um, there's this a conversation I had about a video that I had seen, and the video was actually really neat. It was about not judging people and being kind and generous and being better people. Well, I was watching this, and the person that was with me had said something to the effect of, oh, after I started talking about it, like, what are we doing? How are we on this? And they're all like, why does everything have to turn into a spiritual conversation? I feel like you're always preaching. And it was actually, I was kind of hurt at first, but I walked away and just kind of pondered the concept. And my answer came to me as, why not? Why shouldn't everything we do turn into a spiritual concept? Because we are not mortals having spiritual experiences here and there, now and again, maybe once in a while. No, we are spiritual beings having a continuous mortal experience. We have not tapped into that spirituality as much as I feel that we could and should, because this life is just a short period of time. I kind of like to compare it to basic training. The only difference between life and basic training is that in basic training, you don't actually have the forgetfulness put on your brain. You have really, 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 really busyness. Maybe that's kind of the same thing. Maybe we get so busy here on earth that we miss. That was a really cute little ding for my text. But in basic training, you know, you leave home, you leave everything you know to go be thrown into this whole new world, this entirely different life, where some things are going to matter and some things are not going to matter. And it's up to you to differentiate. But the one thing that both of them have in common is that in basic training and in life, the way to get back to where you need to be, to get through the experience and back to where we need to be, which is with our Heavenly Father, or in somebody else's case, back to their home and family, that time needs to be spent finding Heavenly Father, seeking Him out, trying to spend as much time with Him as possible, and trying to serve Him and love Him. Even in basic training, when you think that you just can't bear anymore, if you turn around and try to help your battle buddy, try to help that next person over and guide them and just support them and help them and let them know that they're not alone and they're loved. If you can do that, you can look back on this life with no regrets. You can look back on basic training and all your training through advanced training with no regrets, because you did your best. Are we going to be perfect? Absolutely not. Not possible. We can sure try. You know, some people think that just because we can't be perfect in this life doesn't mean we shouldn't try to be perfect in this life. I happen to disagree. I think that we need to try to be perfect, so the times that we screw up, we have somewhere to go. We have something to try and get better from, and to be better people. If we never advance, if we never progress into something else, what are we accomplishing? What's the point? So we have this very brief period of time, and this brief period of time needs to be as good as we can make it. Don't not try to do your best because you know you'll never be perfect. Just try to do your best and aim and aim and aim. Maybe you'll learn more than you ever thought you could. Well, if you weren't aiming for anything, if you weren't trying to progress for anything, then you were stagnant, accomplishing nothing, striving for nothing. being an example of nothing. I couldn't care less what jobs I've had, although there are a few people I love that I've worked with before, but not because of the job that I had, but because they were people that I loved, that I worked for. We need to focus on what's important. Our family, and it goes to priorities: God, family, work, church, social status, social events, and stuff like that. These intermingle, but if the question comes between two of them, you need to go back to the basics of the God, family, work, church, social, and recognize your priorities and live by them. If you do that every time the question comes up, you will not look back on your deathbed and regret what you've done in this life. But if you live your life with just social goals in mind and all you're doing is accomplishing, getting social status and being in plays, and not that that's bad, but there's a time and a place for everything. But if that's all you do, then when you look back on this life, you'll kind of feel like you didn't do a whole lot. Now, I could be wrong. There could be people who've died perfectly content with their social status in life. But I wonder where they are now and how they feel about their life now, that they understand how temporary their life really was and what they did and how little it actually accomplished. That's my random thought for the day. Be a spiritual being living a mortal experience. Be good. Be loving and kind and generous. Don't judge people. If you don't like what somebody's doing, walk away. If you don't like them in your house, tell them to leave. That's okay. You're responsible for your home and yourself and what influences you. And this is a total topic for another day. But that's my thought for today. And go be a spiritual being. Work hard. Love you lots. Bye.